So yet interested in heaven and hell and all? I think you should be interested in this. Well, you should be knowing that soul is a receiver of fruits. So does it receive in some abodes, or it? You should be interested in knowing it. Creator of heaven and hell, you might not be interested, I can understand. But if you don't know the concept of heaven and hell, then your knowledge of Bhoktapanu is little incomplete. So are you, or do you want to know? Okay. So in verse 81, the disciple had said that without establishing the existence of God, no law will prevail in the world. There will be no designated places like heaven and hell to obtain the fruits of one's deeds. Two things, no law and no designated places like heaven, hell. For why do we need heaven and hell here? To obtain the results of your karmas. If God is established as the fruit giver and the creator of the world, then it hinders his godliness. So solving this confusion of the disciple or ignoring this confusion of the disciple, the Guru says,
Te bhogya visheshana sthanak dravya swabhav gahan vaat che sheshya kahi sankshepe sa.
Te, in order that the soul Bhogya Visheshana, in order that the soul experience the fruits of its karunas, Tete Bhogya Visheshana, in order that the soul experience the fruits of the karmas, Sthanak, there are designated places, Dravya Swabhav, due to the self-nature of the substance itself, Gahan Vache, the subject matter is very deep. Oh, youth. This subject is too deep, intricate, difficult to grasp. Whatever is needed for you to understand the topic has been spoken here briefly. Gahan Vache Shishya. Kahi sankshepe sav, tara kamnu jetlu જ કહું છું. If I tell you minute-to-minute program from 8 o'clock to maybe 10:30 or so, તને યાદ જ નહીં રહે પછી કે આ જરા તમે મેસેજમાં મોકલાવશો આખું. So ગહન વાત છે. You need to have deep interest. You have to go very, very deep into your study of the karmic philosophy and the philosophy of heaven and hell and the whole creation of the universe and how the substances modify and everything. You need to go, you need to know much, much more the nature of the sentient and non-sentient substance. અહીંયા તો કાંઈ કીધું નથી આત્મસિદ્ધિમાં. Nothing. All Anand Shakti and Surtali Shakti and this Shakti, you have to have a deep study of this subject. So, Ghan Vache, very deep. This subject is very deep. Very interesting though, but Karna Anuyog is very, very deep. This part of the Jain philosophy. So, Shishya, Ahito, over here, I've just I've just given you a glimpse. I just wanted to question. Kripadev says, karo badhu campfire ma kach. But at least let the questions arise in you. Then who created heaven? Why like this? Who created hell? Avi te came. Enu dimag ketlu gandu ase avu hell create કર્યું છે. Just see them. You wouldn't even imagine to inflict such pain when you see the movies of concentration camps and all. So I've been to the one in Poland, Auschwitz. Yeah. So the way in which he inflicted pain means I could not even imagine. Means I've had good and bad all bhavs, but my worst bhav also was nowhere near that. If you want to kill a person, kill, no shoot him. But why do you want, પેલું કેવું હતું, એક તો ઊભા રાખે ને અને આખી દિવાલ ચની લે 3 inch. Only 3 inch. એક જ બ્રિક ખુલ્લી, એ બી માથા ઉપર નહીં. For the carbon dioxide to go and that for it. અને ઊભા રહેવાનું. No food, no rest till he dies. Now why do you want him to die? Why kill him so brutally? You want to kill him? તો એકવાર શૂટ કરી દો, ફિનિશ થઈ જાય. જસ્ટ ઇમેજિન કેટલી ગભરામણ થાય તમને અહીંયા રાખવું ખાલી 1 વર્ષ આટલા મોટા હોલમાં, તો બી તમે ગભરામણ થવા લાગશે કે નહીં? આટલી દૂર અહીંયા વોલ હોય, આખી અનારકલી જેવું આખું ચનીના, અને એવા એટલા બધા હોય. We saw a heap of spectacles and hair, બધાના વાળ કાઢી કાઢીને પછી એને બાલવા મોકલે. Dead bodies. કેટલા લાખ? 60 lakhs. એટલા તો અહીંયા કોવિડમાં ખલાસ થયા નથી. 6 lakhs થયા હશે? નહીં. So 1939 to 1945 ની સ્થિતિને બધી ખબર જ પડી after Hitler committed suicide. બધી ખબર જ ત્યારે પડી કે આવા કોન્સન્ટ્રેશન કેમ્પ હતા અને આવું એટલું બધું સિક્રેટલી ઇટ વોઝ. સો મારું કેવું છે કે વાય ઇઝ ઇટ ક્રિએટેડ એન્ડ હુ ક્રિએટેડ ધીસ વે? એ ક્યાંથી આવું ઇમેજિનેશન લાવ્યા કે હેલ શુડ બી સો બેડ એન્ડ હેવન શુડ બી સો ગુડ, સો લક્ઝરિયસ, એવી રીતે આ બધું. સો આ બધું ડીપ સબ્જેક્ટ છે. હિયર માય સબ્જેક્ટ વોઝ, is the soul receiver of the fruits of actions or not? Is that thing possible? So we'll stick to that subject. And Gahan what says Shishya, if you really want to know, I can suggest some scriptures which will give you the knowledge at length. So you won't get answers because અહીંયા કશે ઈશ્વર આવતું જ નથી. જો તે ભોગ્ય વિશેષના સ્થાનક દ્રવ્ય સ્વભાવ. So we only need to know the first. So why is it not explained in detail? Number 1, because Kripaludev didn't know. Okay, that was not the reason. So what was the reason? First, it is very deep and difficult to grasp. આટલું difficult થતું જાય છે આ લોકો માટે. So it's difficult to grasp. It's not that it is not answered by the enlightened masters, but it is difficult to grasp, one. And second, heaven and hell is not relevant here. કેટલા દેવલોક છે ને કેટલી નરક છે ને નરકમાં કેવા all this is not relevant here. We only want to know whether the soul can receive the fruits of actions or not. So I want to stick to the subject. This is difficult to grasp. If you are really interested, you can refer to the scriptures. Okay? Now the first line. Te bhogya visheshana sthanak Dravya Swabha. So the Guru winds up his statements on karma. You can see this is the last verse. And now all this karma is not going to come. Next pad is mokshpad and then mokshupaya. So regarding the karma and bondage and all, so he's winding up his statements on karma by pointing out that this subject is really, really vast. I have just given you a glimpse of the immense territory of karma. Just a glimpse of that territory. Karnanu Yogni, a glimpse. The whole karmic philosophy of Jainism, I have just given you a glimpse. Don't get so excited when you understood Bhav karma and Dravya karma and it's so perfect and all that. Nothing. It doesn't even come in the first karma granth. This should be, you should be knowing this before you enter the karma granths. And then the 6 karma granths. After the 4th one, it was so difficult for me, even for me to understand. 4 વખત study કરું ત્યારે થોડું ભેજામાં જાય. After the 4th one. I think you people have done 2. First 2 is easy. 3rd, 4th, you will say કે આ બધું શું કામ બનવાનું? આટલો માથાનું દહીં થઈ જાય છે. And fifth, sixth is all regarding Shreni, Upsham Shreni and Shapak Shreni. Who are really interested must go deep. Here, we don't need it at present, so it's not. So I have given you, the subject is vast, Guru is saying. I have only given you a glimpse to show you that the subject is vast. The immense territory karma encompasses. That you need to know. But one thing is clear, all acts will have aftermaths, meaning consequences. All acts are going to have, yes. All intentions carry with them not only actions. પહેલા મેં actions કીધું, હવે હું intention કહું. All acts will have aftermaths, તો બરાબર છે. All intentions will also carry a seed of merit or demerit. See how much you need only, I shouldn't have spoken this. Bas, this much. No, I should not be doing this, I should not be speaking this, I should not be thinking or aspiring about it also. Because even those acts are going to show the aftermaths. Got it? So, every deed, every word you speak, every thought you harbor, leaves a mark on the soul. Every thought you harbor, every thought, even in your dreams, is going to leave a mark on the soul. So the Guru is saying, Guru is telling his disciple, it is not your prerogative, it's not your right, your power, your privilege, your Shakti, your ability to talk, to draw conclusions regarding the soul with that limited intelligence you have. The limited intelligence છે એમાં આટલી હુશિયારી સારી નહીં. આટલી હુશિયારી સારી નહીં, આટલું જ્ઞાન. 6 કર્મગ્રંથમાં એક બી કર્મગ્રંથ કે લાગતું નથી કે કર્મ આવું બધું કરી શકે. શું લાગતું નથી? આટલી ઓછી બુદ્ધિમાં you don't have the right, the privilege, the capacity to draw conclusions. Okay, so every living being is seen as undertaking some activity all the time, right? Every living being undertaking an activity every moment. So as such, how many souls, how many living beings we can say? So असंख्य રાખો ને બાબા, innumerable રાખો ને. So imagine how many times of karmas will be there. एक तो so many souls doing so many activities, every moment different activities. So many different types of karmas. How many? જેટલા તમે બોલો, infinite activities તો infinite karmas. Innumerable બોલો તો innumerable. Infinite બોલો તો infinite. આટલા બધા કર્મસ છે. So the question may arise whether there could be enough place for the souls to endure the consequences of the bad and good karmas. There has to be enough place. પ્રતિષ્ઠા મહોત્સવ તમે ઊભો કરી દો છો, બધાની રહેવાની જગ્યા છે? બધાની રહેવાની જગ્યા છે કરી? 10,000 માણસને ઇન્વિટેશન આપી દો, 20,000 30,000, બધાને કહો કે તમારે બધાએ 500 કંકોત્રી વેચવાની છે. તો છપાવવાની કોસ્ટ લાગે. છપાવવાની કોસ્ટ નથી, તંબુઓ બાંધવા પડશે પાછા. You understand? તંબુ, you understand? Tent. તંબુ, you don't understand? Tents બાંધવા પડશે ને, કે બિલ્ડિંગ્સ બાંધીએ એના માટે. Tents, right? So the question, is there enough place for them to bear the consequences of their merits and demerits, or good or bad karmas, auspicious, inauspicious karma? In other words, you need designated places. You know, if you call so many people here, you should have, our dining will not be sufficient. It won't be enough. Already we have thought of 2 places, one on the hill. જે હમણાં ખાલી પડ્યો છે ને यहाँ પાછળ યજ્ઞસ્થળની પાછળ એક નાનકડું હિલોક જેવું છે ને ખાલી, that will be the buffet ભોજનાલય. અને જેને બેસીને ખાવું હોય ને 20 મિનિટ લગાડ્યું હોય તે જાય ડાઇનિંગમાં. So it's already planned here. But that's not going to be enough. You will have to have more places, designated places. કે food માટે, મંડપ માટે, activity માટે, રહેવા માટે. So are there designated places, abodes like heaven and hell? And the question, then the 2 questions which can come. એટલે તમને તો નથી આવ્યા, મને જે આવ્યા તે હું કહું છું. Who takes the soul there? છેટ 12મા દેવલોકમાં જવાનું હોય, 12th heaven. So how does the soul actually, who takes them there? Number 1, and who created that? Banne. These will be the 2. So Thanak, Dravya, Swabhav in 3 words, he has explained that. If you don't understand, then that means you don't have that intelligence to grasp. You need to study. You study more, but we need to end the yagna here. So this question arises and Guru says, Jo, we have all the time. We have 20 minutes left. So we have lot of time. એટલું બોલવાનું છે જ નહીં આમાં. So I'll start from the whole nature of the soul. You asked whether there is heaven or hell. I'm starting from the nature of the soul is non-doer of impure feelings. Doership, yes. But of impure feelings, I'm talking of the nature of the self, inherent nature. આત્માનો શુદ્ધ સ્વભાવ શું છે? Non-doer of the impure feelings. But it does not stay in the awareness of the pure self. So it becomes the doer of impure feelings, thereby instrumental in acquiring karmas. So his nature is non-doer of impure feelings. But his state, if we say, because of lack of awareness, he becomes the doer of impure feelings. Shubha Shubh, both are impure. So when I say pure, means at times I mean Shubh and at times I mean Shuddha. And you have to understand the context. English language also has such words. T-H-E-R-E, T-H-E-I-R. And I'll use it as I want. You have to understand the context. So sometimes I use impure and pure for Shubha Shubh. Sometimes Shubha Shubh both are impure and Shuddha Bhav is pure. And you should know where I'm using what and why. Nature of the self, Nemiji. Pure to everyone knows. Doership na arth. Doer of its nature, but non-doer of its impure feeling. But if you do not abide in the awareness of the true self, I'm talking of Gatha 78, verse 78. Then you are the doer of impure feelings, thereby karmas, karmic matter. Okay. So let's talk of this part. You have lost the awareness of the self? Or you never had awareness of the self? Lost to you do not have the awareness of that pure self, Atmanusandhan, Atma Jagrati Nati. So what are you doing? You are harboring impure feelings, or your soul is getting modified into impure feelings. There is no Tai Chi. Just to understand. No? It gets modified into, meaning the whole soul gets modified at that time in the form of, say, anger, lust, or whatever. Okay? Whatever impure feelings he is harboring, correspondingly, he will have those karma bandha, karmic matter, and he will experience the consequences according to the impure feelings he has harbored, of whatever intensity, whatever type. So corresponding feelings he has to experience. Corresponding feelings corresponding results he has to experience. And to experience those consequences of the feelings he has harbored, he needs to be associated with those type of places. Some you can't. You can't get Phansi in Rashtrapati Bhavan. Even if you are convicted and you have to be hanged, nothing. Unto death. If you have to be hanged unto death, you cannot say कि हमारे ताजमा फांसी जो है. You can say marriage ताजमा करवा छे. But you can say कि oh judge, I want to get fancied in Oberoi's, Taj, Cave. No, you have to go to the designated places to experience the results of the impure feelings you have harbored. So I'm actually talking to you about 4 gatis. What is going in my mind? 4 gatis. If you have certain types of karmas, then you have to become an animal only. Certain types of feelings, you have to become human. Certain types of results of the feelings you have to experience, you might go to hell or heaven. 4 gatis we have been taught. Dev, Narki, and in the middle is the human or animal. एक English, एक Gujarati हम न तो बोलो है ना. Either all in English or all in Gujarati. So either Dev, Narki, Manushya, Tiryansh, or say heaven, hell, human, animals. So you will have to, the soul has to get associated to designated places to experience the result of the impure feelings he has harbored. You understand? So just to understand, one goes to heaven due to extreme Shubha Bhav, auspicious feeling as you say. Extremely Shubh. Little Shubh, you will become Manushya only. Extremely Shubh means every day you are in Shubha only. Like little bit you can say in the whole day, little bit I got a Shubha in the evening or in the mornings or in the afternoon. Usually you are in that Shubha only. Hu bhakti karu, ke vanchan karu, ke seva karu, ke a karu, Shubha. So you have collected extremely auspicious karmas, you need to go to heaven. Exactly opposite. Whole day you are grumbling, nasty, nagging, complaining, brooding, thinking, either regretting or in fear. Whole day you are in Ashubha, કોક વખત આમ આરતી બારતી થતી હોય તો આમ આપણે થોડું કનેક્શન થઈ જાય, બાકી back to that. So extremely Ashubha, you need to go to hell. Simple, no? This is, I'm talking logic. Mixed, mild of both or mixed of both, then you have to go to the middle. Simple. Good, upwards. Bad, downwards. It is so natural. See, I have not taught you this, but somewhere you will say, bad loco. This type of gesture will never come. It is human nature કે bad માટે તમે નીચે બતાવશો, good માટે તમે ઉપર બતાવશો, તો mix માટે ક્યાં બતાવશો? Middle. And Dr. Mansi will tell us, will give us the names of the 3 loks, because she's been saying day in and day out in the yoga. Adho! આખો દિવસ કૂતરો બનાવે અમને. કૂતરાનું આસન છે ને. Every day. And the beautiful words is now, let's rest in Adho. Are amaru to ठूंस निकली जाए Adho. So she thinks it's like, second to Shavasana. So okay, now I think you or Shraddha, I don't know. Shraddha or you? So okay, now you can rest in Adho. Because the doom wala ne pet wala ne Adho ketlo difficult hoy, how will you know? So Adho means going down. So the down wala part which should be called Adholok. Then you have some asana like this. What is that? Urdhva. I know. Urdhva. Upwards mate Urdhva. So all those who are constantly harboring good feelings, Shubh Bhav, where do they go? Urdhva Lok. So the whole Lok means the universe. So you already got two. Urdhva Lok, so the heavens. Adho Lok, so all the hells. But I'm getting mixed. So you are saying mixed, okay, mild. Mixed or mild. So it starts from what? M. So you are in the middle. Madhya Lok. We are in Madhya Lok right now. So easy. Ke jeva traits hoy eva places you need. So either there is all urdhva bhav, go to urdhva lok. Adho bhav, go to adho lok. Middle and mixed, so stay in the middle, madhya lok. Right? So logically you will not say good people going down. Downwards you say for people having negative. આપણે કે કેમ છો કોઈ આપણે પૂછે એટલે બહુ ફાઇન ને Why? He didn't say anything. But this sign only is fixed as something negative. This you say means going well, તો બધું આમ ફાઇન ચાલે છે. Usually NRI ને પૂછો તો આમ જ જવાબ આપે. એક દિવસ સારો તો એક દિવસ ખરાબ, એક દિવસ સારો તો એક દિવસ ખરાબ. તો તમે મિડલમાં જ રહેજો, મનુષ્ય જ બન્યા કરજો કે વધારે ખરાબ હોય તો તિર્યંચ બનજો. Right? You understand that? So it is so natural. The arrangement in the universe is such for these three categories. Extremely good, extremely bad, mixed. Or say mild. Mild or mixed stays in Madhya, extremely good Urdhva, and extremely bad Adho. So it is so natural, and the feelings you harbor, you have to experience such consequences, and to experience such consequences, you either need to go to Urdhva, Adho, or stay in the middle. 2 questions in 1 minute I'll answer, then I end. How does the soul go there? The soul, how do you go to America? Plane. બરાબર છે, સ્ટીમર બીમરમાં તો જાઓ નહીં, પ્લેનમાં તમે જાઓ. તો I want to know, how does the soul in this lok, he's in the Madhya lok, he dies, and then how does he go to, when we have to talk, we have to say Urdhva only. Our deeds show we should go down, that's another thing. So how does the soul go? The answer is, the soul goes on its own under the influence of karmas. Because of the influence of karma, the weight of the karma, the type of the karma, this is the way you can answer. The karmas influence the soul to go to catch this flight. Singapore Airlines lo, to આમ જવાનું આવશે. British Airways lo, તો આમ જવાનું આવશે. એવી જાતની તમારી ફ્લાઇટ આવે કે that flight takes you to that designated place. So the soul goes on its own under the karmic influence. તમને ફ્લાઇટ જ એવી પકડવામાં આવે. In fact, they say કે જ્યાં જવાનું હોય, જે ગતિમાં, 48 minutes before he leaves his body in the previous birth, એના feelings એવા થવા લાગે. So from the last few moments of that person, we can judge ke where is he going to go. See, he's taking God's name. Any flight જ સારી આવી છે, business class. ચોક્કસ એને દેવલોકમાં જ લઈ જશે. મને પાણી આપો, પાણી આપો, પાણી આપો. So we realize this person will go into Tiryanj. Because the food and water is the only thing, food, water or medicine is the only thoughts that person is harboring, that soul is harboring. So all very well shown in Tattvartha Sutra. You refer to such scriptures if you really want to know who goes into Devlok, who goes into Narak, who becomes a Tiryanj, who becomes a human. You can't just pray કે ભવો ભવ મને તમારી સેવા મળો, અને સેવા ક્યારે મળે? જ્યારે હું મનુષ્ય રહું. You can't say I'll become a bird and do your seva. Manusha. So just check whether your thoughts and deeds are such that the result would be a birth of a Manusha, human. Whether you will ever get a human life again. You need to check. So that's not the question here. How does the soul go to the designated places like heaven and hell or Madhyalok? So it goes on its own under the influence of karmas. When the karmas become operative, they actually compel the soul to go in that direction, in that designated place. And the last question, who created? Sthanak, it's in the verse. Tete bhogya visheshana, to enjoy those type of fruits of your karmas, you need to go to some sthanak. Urdhva, adho, madhya. And how are the sthanaks created? Dravya svabhav. How do you go there? Dravya svabhav. Both the answers are in this word, dravya svabhav. How do you go there? Dravya svabhav, the Atma can go, and where to go, the karmas become the leaders, guides, navigator. Karmas will say, no, you need to go become an insect now. So the soul goes there. So it goes to the sthanak, dravya svabhav, karmano svabhav, atmano svabhav. The soul can go and the karma can lead or direct him. Where? So sthanak, dravya svabhav. But how are the sthanaks created? Heavens and hells. દ્રવ્ય સ્વભાવ. નહીં ગમે તમને સાંભળવાનું. But the arrangements has existed on its own since time immemorial. I'll tell you why. Soul and matter both have limitless power. Both have limitless power. And when they both are in association, they create different modifications in the feelings regarding the soul and different modifications in the universe. It's a deep subject. I don't have time. I have to do Aarti right now. It's a difficult subject and a deep subject. Not that it is not explainable. You have many scriptures explaining this. But jare jeev and pudgal, means matter, and jeev, souls, when they come in contact, when they are in association, they create different modifications in itself and in the universe. See, different atoms, they break, they combine, and navu thaya kare. New diseases come up. It is when we were in school, we didn't know anything like AIDS. We never knew anything like AIDS. Nava diseases, nava combinations, nava food, nava drinks. Judu, jem tamaye ave tem judu thaya kare, different combinations. કેટલા પેલું ગંગા જમના જ્યુસ અમારા વખતે હતું જ નહીં. નાના હતા તારે ઇટ વોઝ ઓરેન્જ જ્યુસ અને મોસંબી જ્યુસ. પછી એ બેને મિક્સ કરીને ગંગા જમના જ્યુસ થઈ ગયું. એમાં કંઈક થોડું પાઇનેપલ નાખી દો તો મારામારી. એમાં ઓરેન્જમાં થોડું સ્ટ્રોબેરી ને એ નાખી દો તો માટુંગા ટિપ્સી. માટુંગામાં ટિપ્સી બહુ સારું મળે. સો સી જુદા અમારા વખતે 3 જ્યુસ હતા જ્યારે અમે નાના હતા. સુખસાગરમાં જતા ઓરેન્જ જ્યુસ, મોસંબી જ્યુસ, વોટરમેલન જ્યુસ. જે પ્લેનમાં જે 4 મળે ને એ જ 4 હતા. એપલ જ્યુસ પ્લેનમાં 4 મળે અને એટલા જ જ્યુસ હતા. હવે તમે કોઈ બી ફાસ્ટ ફૂડ સેન્ટરમાં જુઓ 2 પેજીસ. અને બસ એક દ્રાક્ષ અને એક મોસંબી મિક્સ કરો એટલે એક જ્યુસ. See, different combinations, modifications arise by the combination of soul and matter. And how heavens manifest that way. All this is shown in the scriptures. It's a deep subject. It's an intricate subject. It's difficult to grasp by everyone because you need to know Jad Swabhav and Chetan Swabhav and the power Jad Swabhav also has to modify into such type of places. So I must end, but how does science show the creation of the world and all? Ekdam short, very, very short. So there was only energy, which was called darkness, energy. Then there was little imbalance in the energy, for reason unknown. And then there was a bang. And when there's a bang, what comes first, sound or light? Sound. Bang, sound, and a light, bechitai. That sound was Om. That's why Om is accepted in all religions. Because that is the original sound from which all words came out. So the original itle Om. Hindus, Buddhists, Sikhs, everyone. Even in the non-Aryan religions, you have Amen, Amin, something all corresponding to Om, because that is considered as the original sound. So sound, pachi sound, light, able to start thayun. Emati dhime dhime dhime, then that ball of energy, and that becomes the sun. And so Big Bang theory ke એવું કંઈક છે ને. So in that there is no creator, and still we see America. Ask the scientists. So it just happened because of the imbalance in the energies. It all got created this way. It got modified this way. And from there, thodu chunk niklu, then it became the sun. Pachi emati ek chunk niklu, it thandu paidu, it became the earth. Pachi એ ઠંડુ પડ્યું, પછી પાણી, and then the whole thing, જે આપણે first standard માં શીખાયું તે. We were taught all this in the first standard, right? How, ball of fire and everything. So even science says this whole thing is the khel of energy. It's the play of energy. It's the modifications of energy. So what energy can do, you need to study deeply. Who decided it has to be round? Tell me. Earth. In the shape of? First standard માં શું ખાયું તું? Sphere, globe, whatever. So who created the globe? Hello. Hola. Who created? Why not a triangle? Why not a square? It would be so nice around the world. Who decided that it has to be a round, like an apple or like an orange? Sorry, like an orange. Who decided? Okay, it was just modification of energy. And you do it. It is logical. I'm not saying it is the truth, but it is logical. Energies only can modify. And who exactly decided America and Africa વચ્ચે Atlantic Ocean હોવું જોઈએ? Who decided that? કે water body હોવું જોઈએ, જરા 6 કલાક ઊંઘ લઈ લેવાય. If you are traveling from London to New York, 7 hours, તો 6 કલાકની ઊંઘ લઈ લે, સંદીપ 8 કલાક સુએ, એ વાત અલગ છે. He goes off to sleep before the flight takes off. અને એર હોસ્ટેસ પણ એની ઊંઘ જોઈને કઈ કે નહીં, આમ લાંબો હોય તો લાંબો સુવા દે ને. કહેતી હશે પણ એ માનતો નહીં હોય. So who decided આટલું water body હોવું જોઈએ, આટલા mountains હોવું જોઈએ? Everything is modification of energy. You can, આપણે modification of substance બોલશું તો જડ substance બોલશું, but the science says it's all modification of energies. સો એવી રીતે સ્થાનક દ્રવ્ય સ્વભાવ ઓન ઇટ્સ ઓન it has been existing since time immemorial, but this is not a complete explanation. See, Paramatma is saying so beautifully, he is admitting this is not a complete, but this is not a subject matter also. So ગહન વાત છે શિષ્ય, મારો ટાઈમ થઈ ગયો છે અને સંક્ષેપમાં બધું સમજાવી દીધું છે. Now we'll sing this verse.
તે તે ભોગ્ય વિશેષના સ્થાનક દ્રવ્ય સ્વભાવ ગહન વાત છે શેષ આ કઈ સંક્ષેપે સા.